Before we get started, I just want to thank Ubisoft for providing me with a copy of this game so I can actually, leave a review of what I think of this game so far. And hopefully my editor can leave a little note as to what that disclaimer possibly means. If they do, thanks in advance. But this was one of those games that I was really looking forward to playing again. Not even this version, but just Black Flag in general. It was one of those games I played when I was younger, but never could beat because of reasons. I don't want to get into that. So when I found out that they were having a remaster remake version of this, I was waiting on it. And the more I learned about it, the more it was just like, yeah, a lot of hard work and care is being put into this. Yeah, the movement itself from the get-go feels really fluid, but it still has that Assassin's Creed mechanics where most of the time the parkour is just based off you pushing a single button to move forward. But that's usually what I like, the charm of games like this is just, the parkour just being there. At least it's not like, what's it called, some of the other ones where you can just climb on any surface. There are some surfaces you just can't climb. Another thing too is the combat itself, which, oh, I'm glad they went back to just health bars, parries, and all that other stuff. Aside from the fact that later as I kept playing, you do get better gear that does deal more damage. I'm honestly glad they did away with the whole RPG system, so I can pretty much explore to my heart's content, fight anyone I want to see, and the only time I should have issues with the combat is if I get myself outnumbered. But again, this game and its mechanics are really, like, if you know how to parry, if you know how to dodge, if you know how to use your environment to your advantage, the combat's just gonna feel just like, the way it felt back then. It probably won't be as fluid as I think that one other Assassin's Creed, the one where it's like during the Civil War. I really don't know what that one was, but it's like in the sweet middle ground where it's not RPG focused, but it's still very action focused. And I think that's where I'm going with this. And honestly, that's probably the best version of it because I don't have to worry, I'm going to fight some guy that just happens to have a slightly higher gear than me, and so I'm just going to be chipping away at his health. It's more so if you can time your parries, your dodges, know when to attack, or if you're being cheeky like me, sometimes all it takes is one well lined up shot. I also like that this game gives you that do it your way situation where remember before, if there was any stealth situations and you got caught, it would just kind of mission fail you, desync and all that. Here, if you get caught, it just kind of continues as normal, but at the same time, the fact that now it kind of gives you that play the way you want kind of style, I really do like that because sometimes all it takes is one little mistake to go from stealth to combat, and I like the fact that the game does not punishes you any longer for making such a simple mistake. But overall, I really do enjoy this game. It's the way I could describe it is if you ever remembered playing this game back in the day and you remember it playing so well in your head, this is basically something like that. The developers behind this really put a lot of care into it, and it feels really like a better version, which I guess the whole Resynced thing makes sense now. But yeah, give this game a go, or again, hopefully you decide to just see other clips and you'll see for yourself that the game has a lot of care put into it. I mean, one of the things I even like, which very minimal, but I do like, but is when you're diving into the ocean, any water, you can dive under and be there, and compared to before where unless you're in the dive bell, you can't really swim. Here you can swim freely, even to the point of just swimming underwater as much as you want, whereas before you were very limited. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. And like I said, I'm not really good at videos like this, but I was having so much fun with the 3 hours I was playing that I just had to make a video on this. But if this video doesn't convince you, I do stream over on Twitch, and I will be uploading a lot more clips that'll make it a little easier to tell the fun factor of this game. But until then, I'll see you later, everyone.